pursuant to what you were saying, MK, that you looked at this as healing. In '94, there were some riots in Mumbai after all that blast and all. Now there were two camps: the Hindus and the Muslims. Again, I'm not talking in terms of the life being directed. I'm just talking about the role of an artist. There were certain Muslim artists, very senior Muslim artists, who just went to the Muslim camps, and there were people, mostly because there were minority people. So I got disturbed with that because I thought that that's not an artist. You just don't go for where your community is. You go where there is suffering, where there is healing. So that made me, that worried me, and it made me question the role of an artist. I mean, if I'm a Muslim, should I only go to a Muslim community? Because the danga is about, there is a clash between ideologies, there's a clash between, it's a political statement, it's a political way of people, it's a divisive thing, na?
See,
So
I will look at that time, why is he doing it?
Yes.
I mean, you said it now, I can see it. He had no access to enter into Hindu, perhaps in the Hindu space.
Could that be?
That could be. And a fear, I may be attacked. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
In 90s, Kashmir.
I'm talking of very big people in the industry.
Yeah.
Absolutely the top people.
I was in the second riot phase, I was there all night. I was in the Dilip Kumar's house.
In 94?
94 riots, I was there. And when second wave started,
Yes.
and phones started
Yes,
coming,
yes.
I was there that night. It is, you have to understand why is he behaving like that. There is a lot of insecurities. I'll tell you, Saeed Mirza ने फिल्म बनाई थी ना, खुशबू क्या नाम था उसका, नसीम. He made it after Babri Masjid.
Okay.
And I thought I was very moved by the film. But I was also angry with him, and I fought with him when he had made in 90 he had made a film, a documentary on Kashmir. I fought with him. I said, you have no business to enter this space. You have no idea. तुम उधर गए उधर हो गए शूटिंग करके आए. And when he saw this film, I said, आज अच्छा लगा तुम्हारा. I didn't congratulate. It's not a congratulation. It is anguish which is in the film. So I said.
तो आपको लगता है कि वो लोग मतलब they are afraid and therefore they won't go into. So the division इतना ज़्यादा.
अंदर भय रहता है. भय होता है. I'll tell you why. It has happened to me. When I went to Kashmir and in 90, my mother died in the beginning of the riots. You know, in the Kashmiri Pandits being attacked, and we left. And she died in the hospital run by terrorists. I was at the mercy of terrorists only. And I could see the humanity of a human being that time. They saw the patient, they interrogated, ये कोई informer तो नहीं है. I could see that what they are doing. एक आपते हैं ना एक objective viewer. Anyway, she passed away that way. It was shoot at side order to go for a funeral. How I negotiated the funeral and other things. And when we left, I took my father with me. I thought my connection with Kashmir is finished.
Which year was this?
1990.
1990.
But वो जो है जिसपे सारा ये सारा जो चल रहा है. I have seen for 1 month and more than that happening right in front of me, and I was the person who had to go to hospital during curfew. I had to go beg people, let me go to see my mother or buy something for the home. I was the only person who could do it. My father was, shattered. We didn't know. She went into a coma. So we don't know what will happen now. क्या करेंगे? तो उसके बाद when I left, I thought it is all over now. We can't come to Kashmir back. But as an artist in me, as a cultural activist in me, it was bothering me. It was bothering me for quite some time. That here I do this work with all kinds of organizations, apart from theatre and film. I work with NGO organizations, help them in children, helpless children, minorities, both कुछ women, literacy, education, I have done a lot of work. So I one day really took a literally without thinking a flight and landed in Srinagar. And it was again a curfew. And only one boy who had been at my workshop, Arshad, I told him, तुम आ जाना अगर आ सकते हो airport. मुझे लगा नहीं आ पाएगा, कोई इजाज़त ही नहीं मिलेगी. But he was there. The moment I came out, I had to pick up my bag from the conveyor belt. I got a little bit strange. Where should I go? I have no home. First time it on me. I have no home. That's gone. Where will I stay in the night? I said, I'm a fool. I didn't think about it all. Or क्या करूँगा मैं? So anyway, it was 5 minutes. Everybody had left. Suddenly I woke up, I picked up the bag and came out, and I saw Arshad still in white shalwar kameez, young boy, Kashmiri, bright looking boy, smile. So I hugged him. I said, thank you for coming. Chalo chalte. कहते कहाँ चले? मैं कहा यहाँ से तो निकलो, सोचते हैं. Next to my house, say 5 centimeters, there was a tiny little, होता ना ढाबा टाइप होटल जहाँ गांव वाले रहते हैं, वो था रूबी होटल उसको कहते थे. वहाँ when we were college students, we used to have kebab there. मैं यार रूबी के पास देखते. रूबी didn't recognize me, he was old man by the time, इतनी लंबी दाढ़ी थी. तो मैंने कहा हमको कमरा चाहिए, was very surprised. तो उन्हें कहा नहीं कमरा चाहिए, तो ही saw it, ये कश्मीरी है लेकिन बाहर से आया, ये मैं inside room के बाहर से कोई पॉट शॉट ना कम नहीं, आप अंदर रहेंगे ये वो. एंड दैट स्टार्टेड माई जर्नी. एंड आई स्टार्टेड लुकिंग मेरे कल्चर के लोग कहाँ हैं. देर ऑल डिसअपियर्ड. आई कश्मीर मुस्लिम्स तो पता भी नहीं चला कहाँ गए थे, घर बदले थे, कुछ होता. जो कश्मीरी पंडित थे ही नहीं. आई हैड नो फ्रेंड, नो बडी देयर. एंड आई रिमेंबर एंड द रीगल चौक स्टैंडिंग देयर एंड फ्लैश बैकिंग व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू डू एट रीगल चौक व्हेन आई वाज अ टीनेजर. यू नो वी यूज्ड टू ब्लैक टिकट फिल्म देखने के लिए, पैसे कम होते थे, पहले 2-3 टिकटें खरीदेंगे, वो ब्लैक करेंगे, उसके बाद पास है और टिकटें खरीदेंगे. सो स्टार्टेड अ जर्नी. It's still now going on. I had to reconsider. I entered the Muslim space, if you mean.
Okay.
Meeting writers. They don't want to talk to you. तुम्हारा मतलब I remember Akhtar Mahidin was Academy Award winner, great writer. He said, मैं तुमसे बात नहीं करना चाहता हूँ. Elderly person, almost 78 or something. And I said, why? He said, but I had this sense of humor in me. I said, what did I do to you? He said, तुम्हारा हिंदुस्तान खत्म हो गया है. वो गांधी और नेहरू का हिंदुस्तान नहीं ना रहा. As a young boy, as a writer, he used to come as a representative of Kashmiri literature in the Sahitya Academy. Nehru was the president. And he used to come, hey, come here, boy. क्या लिखा तुमने नया? He said, वो कहाँ करता है कोई? तो his disillusionment. But then, at the end of it, he said, okay, I'll talk to you. When I told him some personal story, he said, do you know there was a play written by you and there was a child actor in that? Who was that? He said, don't tell me it is you. I said, it's me. I said, this denture of yours, who made it for you? He said, why are you asking me? I said, tell me who made it for you. It was my father. अरे कहता अब तो बात ही बदल के चाय बनाओ अगर. So you know you have to have.
So what do you think of what Agnihotri did, the Kashmir Files? In that context, what is your opinion of that? Just as a piece of work.
No. I was asked. That time I was shooting for Rajat Kapoor in Lonavala, and I got a call from London, and one from Calcutta. We want you to review this film. I said, यहाँ नहीं चल रही है, तो मैं कैसे करूँगा? But when I came back after a month, and it was next door to my house, I saw the film. I slept 3 times in the film.
Okay.
Because truth was somewhere else.
Seriously?
Yeah. It is part of the truth. As an artist, when you say objective, when you say you want to enter the space, you can't leave half truth away. You can't have an omelette half egg का काट के कर सकते हो? नहीं हो सकता. While this happened, something else was also happening.
That you have not shown.
I mean, the very first day, 19th, there was a big battle 101 kilometers away from my house. All night firing by the cops on one side and the terrorists on the other. And then they started killing people on that area, Ratkot. It was, people were dying all the time. It was not that only, we were marked by a certain section, but not the entire population. Otherwise, I would not have been able to. I'll give you an example. Cremate my mother. In our tradition, dead body of Hindu is cremated by a Muslim.
In your tradition as a?
Yes, as a Kashmiri Pandit, body will be cremated by a Muslim. It is a tradition there. Nobody will tell. He should have told you that.
No, this is news.
That he should have told that what traditions have broken. He didn't do that.
Why was this so? How
it was the tradition. चलता रहा है.
मतलब they were one community.
No, I wouldn't say one community. Whatever it is, this is a tradition. So when I went to the dead body, my cousin is telling me, अरे अगर यहाँ नहीं होगा तो क्या करेंगे? क्योंकि हालत इतनी खराब थी. मैंने कहा मैं खुद करूँगा. तो क्या लकड़ी तो होगी वहाँ.
एक मिनट. आपके मतलब कश्मीरी पंडित्स की क्रिमेशन मुस्लिम करता है?
और जब शादी होती है, बाल जो काटे जाते हैं दूल्हे के, मुस्लिम नाई होता है. That is syncretic culture.
What is this synchronicity of culture? ये क्या है? कब से है?
This is what you have to understand. Indian sandwich.
गंगा जमुना कहते हैं.
No, बदनाम नहीं दो. It is a sandwich. one layer this, one layer this, and then you take it, you like
हाँ,
it.
correct.
It works for you, you are
Correct.
fed up. वो that it is over the centuries it weaves itself. ऐसे थोड़ी होता है मैंने ऑर्डर किया और बन गया ये. Like for example, I'll give a most moving example which shook me. After some time, my eldest uncle was like my grandfather. He was unwell and he was very upset about my mother's dying. He said, मैंने इसको गोद में लाया था as a दुल्हनिया. And suddenly he said one day evening, I don't know what happened. He said, no, you have to pick her up. You can't do it like that. I said, what is hallucination? है क्या कर रहे हैं? हमने कहा क्या? My father understood. He is telling you pick up ashes. कल पता नहीं ashes भी नहीं उठा पाएंगे. हालत खराब थी. So he said, okay. 4 in the morning, कर्फ्यू खुलता है कोई 5-6 बजे, तो हमने 4 बजे एक गाड़ी मंगाई. कहाँ से लाई? हम साय में एक मैटाडोर है. वो कौन चलाता है? मुस्लिम चलाता है. हमने कहा रसूल? कहता हाँ मैं आ रहा हूँ. Without questioning. बैठ गए उस पर. I have to buy a मटका. अंधेरा है. I have to buy a मटका जिसमें ashes डाल दूँगा. So where do you go? You knock at the door of the potter. Potter, who is he? He is a Muslim. And he understood like this. इसको क्या? रुको घबराओ नहीं. And he knew exactly what I want. This is what is called sandwich, I say. तो हो गया. उसके बाद when you pick up the ashes, एक आप करते हैं आप दूध डालते हैं उसके ऊपर उसको कुछ पंचमेवा डालते हैं. वो कौन देगा तुम्हें? Again I had to knock at the Muslim shop. वो उस नमाज पढ़ने 1.5 महीने के बाद गया था. तो I knew the masjid where he will be. So I go to and he came. तो क्या कर रहा है यहाँ क्या कर रहा है इतने बजे? मैं कहा मदर की डेथ हो गई. कहता चल मुझे पता है क्या चाहिए तुझे. He opened the shop, gave all me things. Now I go to that man who had cremated body. He was there, and he guided me how you have to pick up ashes. ये करना है, ये जो है, and that was fascinating. One ash, it's like a bone. कहता दूध में धो लो इसको, देखो इसको पौरुष कहते हैं. Who is telling you? A Muslim. And it is like in the form of a meditation. You are in the vertebrae, third or fourth vertebrae. तो ये गंगा ले जाना. He is guiding me. वो पंडित. अब बाकी ashes तो आपको जाना है immersion के लिए. We are rushing to immerse. To cut the whole story short, we are guided कि एक बीच में नदी के एक छोटा सी नाव पे मछली वाला था. वो मछली रख रहा था गरीब आदमी. जल्दी वो भी उसको मछली पकड़नी ताकि उसमें कर्फ्यू लगेगा. हाँ. सो उसको किसी ने कहा इधर आओ इधर सवाब का सवाब मीन पुण्य का काम करना है तुमको. तो वी गो ऑन द बोट एंड वी इमर्स द एशेस. ही ब्रिंग्स द बोट. आई टेक सम मनी आउट ऑफ माई पॉकेट टू गिव हिम. माई कजिन से ये देना होता है. सो आई टुक 200 रुपीज़ नोट्स अगेन एंड ही लुक्ड एट मी. कहता है इसके लिए नहीं लेते पैसे. एंड ही इज़ द पुअरेस्ट. उस बेचारा गरीब आदमी है. मैं कहा नहीं वो कज़िन मेरा कह रहा सबको जाना है ना यहाँ से. ये सवाब का काम है. इसके लिए नहीं लेते. एंड ही यूज्ड अ वर्ड व्हिच कैन नॉट ट्रांसलेट. मैंने मनसाया मतलब आई हैव वॉलंटियर्ड इट. व्हाई आर यू इंसिस्टिंग ऑन मी? व्हाई आर यू? सो stories are what I mean to say. It's a one frame of the stories what he did.
So how does the Hindu frame help in the Muslim tradition? How do we help them? Or
We were the people who were the privileged, educated people. I mean, I have still got the friends who are the first generation Muslim education. वो बेचारे कर पढ़ते नहीं थे. And they were the poor. Kashmir was the poorest state in the world. And we used
who
to.
was the guru? Kashyap guru.
वो तो छोड़ो वो तो that is the prehistory.
But percolation हुआ ना इतने
क्या?
Culturally percolation हुआ जहाँ पे sandwich बन गया ना.
Sandwich तो over history doesn't become one day. ऐसा थोड़ी है कि it takes generations and generations आप बना देते हैं एक tradition को. तो उसके बाद.
So how does our Hindu impact the Muslim is what I'm asking.
By initiating, educating them.
I see.
We were the motivators of education. Even now they mention you that the best teachers were these. मैं एक दिन था तो लद्दाख में था तो एक ट्रक ड्राइवर मिला मुझे. सर तुम कश्मीरी हो? ओल्ड मैन. मैं कहा हाँ. मैं श्रीनगर जा रहा हूँ चाहिए तुझे कोई मैं तेरे लिए लाऊंगा. मैं कहा नहीं बस दुआ मांग लेना और क्या बगैर करते. He said नहीं एक दुआ मेरे लिए मांगोगे. I can't believe it. He said मैंने कहा क्या दुआ? हाथ उठाओ. मैं कहा नहीं बोलो क्या. मुझे अल्लाह उठाए इस दुनिया से. मैंने कहा भाई क्या चाहता है तू क्यों? तो नहीं चमनलाल तुम दिल्ली रहते हो. एक चमनलाल था मेरा हमसाया जिसने मैं गरीब नहीं हूँ. मेरे बच्चे बड़े पोजीशंस में हैं. मैं एक शौक से कर रहा हूँ ड्राइवरी, आई डोंट नीड टू डू इट। मैं एक ये अपना, उसने मेरे बच्चों को गाइड किया करियर में, और अब वो पता नहीं कहाँ है, किस गर्मी में बेचारा पड़ा होगा। अगर मिले तो उसका चमन लाल नाम है, आई स्टिल रिमेंबर चमन लाल नाम है। सो दैट वी हैड अर्नड दैट, वी हैड अर्नड दैट. What got betrayed was the trust. Trust got betrayed.
And why do you think that happened?
I think, you see, this is very important to understand. What was Indian state doing? If the weapons came in loads, where was our intelligence? Did they not know it? I'm 100% sure they did. Action ही नहीं है.
But what is the root? Because as a Kashmiri, then what is the root and what is the solution? Both things. In very simple way. I know it's a complicated matter. It can
It's now become more
complicated. But in a way, what is it that the planet requires at this moment with that?
If you take dignity out of a Palestinian, he becomes Hamas.
Okay. Fair enough.
Give dignity to human beings, wherever they are, whatever they are. I mean, you have no idea, I have gone through hell. जो मैं बड़ा रोमांटिक कर सकता हूँ, मैंने ये काम किया, वहाँ मैंने किंग लेयर किया, मैंने ये, बट इट वॉज एट द कॉस्ट ऑफ माई नेक. बट हु आई नेवर टुक सिक्योरिटी, वहाँ सिक्योरिटी लेते हैं. आई सेट माई सेल्फ, अगर मैंने पुलिस वाला सिक्योरिटी जो मेरे दोस्त कहते रखो यार, ऐसे नो देन आई एम ए सिटिंग डक. ये कौन है? आई वॉज टेकन केयर ऑफ माई पीपल. आई वर्क इन ए विलेज 80 kilometers on at the slope, the bottom of Pir Panchal range. I worked there.
What was driving you?
Like my principle of, I have a job here. I have to do it. And it wasn't the...
What was the emotion propelling you?
Absolutely neutral. I was not emotionally getting, oh, I have to do this for me. No. Yes, I will do my little duty for my nation. I have to save this state for myself and for my country, therefore for my people.
How do you see that? What is your vision of where you are going to?
What it was before.
Which is what? Just explain.
It was fearless. We could go anywhere, anytime. I could enter a masjid anytime. I could take a bath in the hammam of masjid. So it was free. There was no... See, Kashmiri Muslim is very different from the rest of the Muslims. There is a huge influence of Sufism. Huge. In any village you go, you will see a temple, you will see a masjid. And there is Khanka, which we call Asthan. Asthan is a Peer ki dargah. That is a place which in my own term, because this is a place which is heretic. यहाँ हिंदू भी आता है, मुसलमान भी चरस भी पीते हैं, गाना भी गाते हैं, खाना भी खाते हैं, कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. It is allowed, approved by the society.
The third place. It's the third place.
Third.
It's not here. It's not there. It's the third.
No, you worship here, no problem. And we want to meet here.
Yeah,
it's like that.
yeah, exactly.
Everywhere you will see this. Small, big, big.
And influence of Lalla also is there.
It started from there. Started from there. And taken over by Nundrishi, who says, my spiritual mother is Lalla. In his verses. So they carried this tradition, and it is now that you will realize, even now the Kashmiri writers and poetry, it has all the images of Hindu, Buddhism and Islamic. Shuni they will use. Shuni is a Buddhist, it is not any Hindu term, it's a Buddhist. We had Buddhists also. Kashmir was Buddhism, it was
Hinduism. It's something like where the artist should stand or wants to stand, in that place. You can go here, you can go there, but ultimately it's the place which is...
See, anyway, the moment in Indian context, artist तो अपनी बरादरी से बाहर निकला ही हुआ है. He is not there. He is not there. He is not there. वही यहाँ भी नहीं, मुझे मेरी अपनी जगह रहने दो. Let me do what I want to do.
Yes.
Let me talk what I want to talk.
And that's what, that quite brings me to the next question, because that is the role of an artist. And what would you say is your definition of a good life?
Contentment. I mean, I'm contented, to be honest. I have never thought, यार पैसे नहीं अब कैसे होगा, हो जाता है. I mean, there are people who help me every time. And I realize all these great artists who are neglected by the state or by the society, by their circumstances, you will not see them. They may be a little bit complaining, but they are not angry with their art. They want to preserve their art. When I met these traditional performers there, Terrorists had taken their costumes, they had broken their instruments, they had broken their masks, everything. They were मारा भी था, एक दो मर भी गए. तो when I met them, क्योंकि I had worked with them in 80s, जैसे कोई मर गया था जब मैं आया. बूढ़े भी रो रहे थे, जवान भी रो रहे थे, औरतें भी रो रहे थे. मुझे समझ नहीं आता मैंने क्या. कहता 10 साल से हमने कुछ नहीं किया है. डिक्टेट्स ऐसे थे, ये काम करोगे तो मारेंगे तुझे. तो इमेजिन Swarnai player, which is Shanai player, has not been able to take the breath भी नहीं डाला 10 साल. कहता मैं निकालता था, थोड़ा तेल से साफ करता था इसको, फिर कवर में कील पे टांगता था. It's like fascism.
And it's death if an artist is moved away from what he loves.
It's like a writer का कलम नहीं ले सकते, तुम का लिख नहीं सकते, तो क्या करेगा वो. So they were all through that. So when I said, would you like to, should we try? So thought, हाँ कर तो सकते हैं. करोगे परफॉर्म, तुम आओगे तो करेंगे. So I said, देखेंगे क्या होता है. So we started literally under an apple tree. For 2 years it was apple tree, under which then an almond tree.
Yes.
Then gradually we got there was a hospital coming up. उसमें कुछ अवार्ड बनी थी. मैं कहा यार बारिश करी तो पूछो इनसे जा सकते हैं क्या. तो उन्होंने पहले वो जो मेडिकल ऑफिसर ने कहा व्हाट आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट. उसको ऑफिसर, मैं कहा हमको एक काम करना है. नहीं हमारा, मैं कहा कुछ नहीं करना, जैसा है. शटर्स नहीं लगे थे, खिड़कियाँ नहीं थी, स्ट्रक्चर था, फर्श बिल्कुल पत्थर लगे थे, उस पर पॉलिश भी नहीं थी. मैं कहा हम धोएंगे सुबह, हम करेंगे. वो माना नहीं. इनफैक्ट ही sort of was almost insulting me, get out of my office. He didn't know me naturally. I said, you want to get an order? And you will get an order. So I phoned friend of mine, was a college friend, he was a big shot in the bureaucracy. मैं कहा शेफी साहब ऐसा हुआ यार. तो तुम क्यों गए उसके पास. मैं कहा why should I bother you people, खुद जाऊँगा, हो जाएगा. नहीं हुआ. कहाँ है दफ्तर. यहाँ. अच्छा क्या नाम है उसका. ये नाम है. अच्छा चल करो देखता हूँ मैं. By evening the man came in a jeep with a please sorry I मैं कहा मैं नहीं चाहता था कि ऐसा तुमको प्रेशर करूं, because you are like me one of the, you should understand why I am here. तो उसके बाद उधर किया.
आप लोगों ने परफॉर्म किया वहाँ.
अरे I'll show you the film. There's a film made on our effort. It's a 1-hour film, and our audiences were not hundreds, thousands. We perform on a hill. There's a hill. People sit on the hill. We perform at the bottom, and thousands, without any publicity. क्योंकि महीने भर आप काम करते हैं वहाँ, खबर पहुँचती है गांव में, बाजार में, इधर उधर. And actually those artists, because I worked for 10 years with this group company particularly, is a traditional company. We went all over India. We were going to Germany with this King Lear production, which we did after. पहले जो उनके अपने plays उनके थे वो मैंने revive किया. Training चली, youngsters को training दी, brought old and new together. वो करते classes शुरू किए करने. Then I said we'll do something new. So that was King Lear what we did new. Wow. And then Bresky who came from Poland, वो Jerzy Grotowski का दोस्त है, उसने देखा भारत रंग महोत्सव, and उसने अपना press conference. If I want to take anything from here, it is this. This is what I need to take.
So in a line, it's cultural renaissance.
No, it has given them. Renaissance is when it keeps happening. Now what has happened? What I did first, when I worked there, I worked with the city boys. तो उनको एक ट्रेन कर दिया, कंटेम्प्रेरी ट्रेनिंग, तुम लोग अब काम. Now what is to my satisfaction? Now those boys have taken over with their groups. They are doing national festival. Can you imagine doing it? मुझको नहीं बोला, मेरे को बहुत गड़बड़ है. तो पैसे नहीं थे, कहाँ रहते तुमको? वो कर रहे हैं 3 नेशनल फेस्टिवल्स वो कर रहे हैं. सो गांव के टेलर को हमने ट्रेन किया. पहले तो सस्ता कपड़े में बना देते हुए. So 4 tailors fabricated our costumes. Then जो टीन्स बनाता, कनस्तर चलाता नहीं बनाता है ट्राव, उसको वेपन्स बनाने थे, भाले. तो वो भी मलंग किसका यूज़ कर. पहले बताओ 1500 रुपये निकालो तुम पहले. ऐसे मैं कहा बशीर क्या करेगा तुम. निकालो ना, काम चाहिए ना तुमको. मैं कहा नहीं 1000 है ये ले. मैं पैसे लूँगा. मैं कहा पैसे नहीं मिलेंगे, सस्ता करना है. एनीवे वो बेचारा क्या मांग रहा था. नेक्स्ट डे शाम को आया, डेडली स्वॉर्ड इतनी लंबी बना के, ये भी मेटल. मैं कहा ये तूने कहाँ से ही मेटल लाया, तुझे क्या है. वो तो ऐसे तुझे क्या, हम बना के देंगे. 17 चाहिए ना, 17 का माल आ गया. मैं कहा इधर बैठे, लाया कहाँ से. कहता तुमने भी देखा ये कहाँ से लाया. मैं कहाँ. कहता हाईवे पे ड्रम नहीं होते तार खोल के लगते हैं ना वो. हाँ उसने एक ड्रम उठाया, फ्लैट, कहता लड़कों को काट रहा था, उसको फ्लैट करो, साफ करो, और काटा. Then jewelry, it was curfew. See, you have to understand, Asian traditional actor is a remarkable phenomena. He's a dancer, he's an acrobat, he's a musician, he's a mask maker, he's a baja bhi bajayega, and they are even craftsmen. They make कांगड़ीज. कांगड़ी होती है ना कश्मीरी में, कांगड़ी या टोकरी. मैं कहा बशीर, जो लेयर कर रहा है मेरा, मैं कहा बशीर ये ड्राइंग है, ये बनाना पड़ेगा ज्वेलरी तुम्हें, ऊपर जाना पड़ेगा. मैं कहा ऊपर कहाँ जाना है? जंगल. मगर क्यों? वहाँ ये पतली वाली लकड़ी, ये ट्विग्स मिलेंगी. बिकॉज ही नोज इट. सी दिस देयर ड्यू इन नेचर. सब. मैंने कहा मैं भी आऊँगा. नहीं थक जाओगे. मैं कहा नहीं यार मैं भी देखूँ क्या करो तुम. वी वेंट टू द फॉरेस्ट, पाइन फॉरेस्ट अंदर गए. श्रब्स देखा, काटो ये काटो ये काटो काटो, बहुत सारा हम ले आए माल. जब नीचे आए तो हम हंस रहे. हम अब मजदूरी करवा रहा. कहता तुम भी मेरे को मजदूरी करवाते हो ना. पानी में डालो इसको. झरने था, झरने में डाला, वो नरम हो गया. कहता साफ करो उसका छिलका. अब तुम 4 लड़के, तुम मेरे घर आओगे, खाना मैं खिलाऊंगा, रात को काम करना है. एंड मॉर्निंग ही केम विद चॉपर, विद बैंगल्स, ब्यूटिफुली मेड थिंग्स. सो ये अब जैसे साधु की माला बनानी थी, क्रिकेट बैट बनता है विलो से ना. हमारे यहाँ विलो बहुत होता है. काटो ये टाइनिया, लिटरली काटो ये टाइनिया, निकालो टाइनिया काटी. दूसरे ने जो कारपेंटर था, एक्टर कारपेंटर भी है, चला घर पर जाके उसके पास वो लेथ है, उसको स्ट्रेट किया, साफ किया, छोटे छोटे नग बनाए उसके. कहते कर लो जो करना करो. सो दिस इज दैट वे यू मेक देम सेल्फ सफिशिएंट. यू मेक एजुकेट देम to look internally how much energy you have, how much talent you have. You have to recognize and lead that.
You guide them to what they
Yes,
already
yes,
have.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's why I use the word renaissance, for the simple reason that you just recreated what they already have and you gave it a voice, you gave it a, you took them abroad, you took them all over.
All over. अरे तो गांव में मैं एक दिन आया तो गांव वाले वहाँ बेकरी वाला कहते राणा साहब अस्सलाम वालेकुम, इधर आओ बैठो. हमें क्या है यार, चाय पियोगे? मैं कहाँ पिला दे. आई हैव टू, यू नो, इफ आई डोंट वांट, आई लाइक टेकिंग टी, कि मुझे बड़ी हेल्प मिलती है उससे. दे बिकम फ्रेंड्स देयर. अदरवाइज जैसे नक चढ़ा है. चाय आई, वो एक गिला है हम तुझसे, ये सब तो ठीक है जो तुमने किया, इतने साल से करो, ये भी मान गए, ये भी. इन सालों को तुम हर बार हवाई जहाज में ले जाते हो, हमें भी ले जाओ कभी. मैं कह ये जब आते वापस तो उनसे पूछते हैं हाँ हमने ये किया. नॉर्थ ईस्ट गए थे, 12 परफॉर्मेंसेस. दे वेंट टू मद्रास परफॉर्मेंसेस, पूना, बॉम्बे, कहाँ गए. आई कुडंट गो विद देम बिकॉज दीज बॉयज भी शहर में ट्रेन किए. आई मेक देम एज मैनेजर्स. तुम इनको पढ़े लिखे हो, दे शुड नॉट बी इनको.
ट्रूप कितना बड़ा है?
It is about 25.
And are you still performing?
अभी मेरा ये 2 एक्टर बीमार हो गए, but they are performing. Their own place they will perform. But I made them little bit materially rich also. In the sense थोड़ा सा पैसा मिल गया उनको. And what I did, कश्मीरी ज़रा सा इस मामले में झूठ भी बोलता है, इसलिए अपने को बचाने के लिए मैं बदनाम ना हो जाऊँ, मैंने सबके बैंक अकाउंट खुलवाए गांव में, एक बैंक में. तो क्यों कर रहा हूँ? मैं कहा नहीं, तुमको चेक से पैसा मिलेगा. कल ये नहीं तय कहेगा तो मैंने पैसे नहीं मिले. है तो दे लाइक इट. बट सडनली दिस, अरे वो चेक देते हो तो 100 रुपया काटता है वो. मैं कटने दो, उसका मैं चिंता नहीं है. बट देन दे लर्न बैंकिंग. दिखाओ कितना मेरे खाते में. So they started giving job.
So empowering, and this actually also brings me to another question. See, because you are doing so much of art and theatre on the ground, what is your opinion about this chaos machine, which is the digital monster we have today? Everyone knows it's a double-edged sword. Use it, not use it. What is your actual take on what is happening in AI, in digital, and especially because you are connected to the ground? Absolutely.
I'll give you an example. Yes. You know, जिनको हम कहते हैं अनपढ़ है, they understand it faster than you and me. मैंने एक दिन गुलाम रसूल, हमारा वो म्यूजिशियन है, मैंने कहा गुलाम रसूल शहर गांव की हालत है, टेरेस पर आते हैं क्या आते हैं? नहीं आज कल कुछ कम ही हो गया. मैं क्या कैसे? तो ही टुक आउट हिज मोबाइल से. मैं कहा मोबाइल से क्या है, इससे क्या होता है? अरे आया है यहाँ बैठा है किसी के घर में, वो घर वाला तो बेचारा कुछ कह नहीं, वो गन लेके बैठता है, मुझे रहना यहाँ 4 दिन, तुम कह भी नहीं सकते. दैट इज फियर. हम यहाँ पर BSF का जहाँ कमांडर है उसको हम नंबर जनाब उसके घर में आया है, पता नहीं चलता किसको, उनको पकड़ते हैं. तो this can be, you should understand digital also helps and empowers you. It empowers. It is like atomic bomb. Atomic energy can be used, double-edged sword है. We don't know where the future of man will finally go. Where will planet go? Because maybe एक Spielberg की फिल्म है ना On the Planet is a series. In that series,
मॉर्गन फ्रीमैन का जो इसमें narrative है, हाँ.
twice Earth died.
5 times mass extinction.
So one was this collusion, one was this. Perhaps it will die. And then something will survive, new life will come.
Yes,
It's like that. उसमें वो होता है जैसे अभी कोविड के टाइम पे दिल्ली में हमारी हाईवे सब कुछ बंद था, खत्म था, कुछ नहीं था. Would you believe wildlife came on the highways?
Yes, we've seen, yes.
नीलगाय मेरे घर के बाहर, मोर यहाँ से यहाँ आया, फेर गया ना उससे.
Yes.
So,
हम लोग के डर से वो हम लोगों ने उनको पकड़ दिया.
भाई उनका घर था, जंगल उनका था, हम घुस गए.
So one last question I'll ask you, MK. What do you have? I mean, you've led such a full content life. You've done so many things. You've also, you've also had your personal life. You've had children. You've done everything. Is there any unfinished business that you want to do before?
I've started that unfinished business. I have written a book. It's coming in April by Penguin. It's called Before I Forget.
Now, what a beautiful title.
So
really?
it's the final stages पे है. I have to do the last reading of that. They have done the corrections. I have to do the last reading and it will be.
That is fabulous.
So there are 3 books on my table. Simultaneously 2 के काम चल रहा, 3rd बाद में देखी जाएगी. That is happening but yes.
I love the title, Before I Forget. Oh my God. So fabulous.
Yeah, it came. I'll tell you how it came about. क्योंकि हम एक्टर्स लोग मिलते रहते हैं तो हम लोग कुछ किए थे तो उस पर मैंने कहा ऐसा नहीं होता है, ऐसा कहते नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता, लड़ाई झगड़ा हो गया, कैसा हुआ. अच्छा होल्ड, आई एम गोइंग टू राइट बिफोर आई फॉरगेट. तुम सब बुढ़े हो रहे हो. You see, but this is one part of the work. That Kashmir is one project in this sense. But what I do in the urban area, that is another world altogether. But I took partition for a couple of years through the literature of Mantu, through Kashmiri Lal Zakir and other players. Then few years back I took a play on Gandhi. I wanted to look at the Gandhi. So I did 4 plays on Gandhi. One I composed myself on Gandhi and Tagore dialogue. It went up very well. बहुत जगह हुआ वो. We all think in Gandhi.
You wrote that? You wrote it yourself?
It was there. I had to onyx structure it. I will not say right. Yes, it is mine. But what I did.
Conversation between the 2 thinkers.
Not thinkers. A great last century के minds looking at the world, freedom movement and the mankind, and never agreed on anything. Nobody knows. They thought, बड़े अच्छे मित्र थे, वो तो गुरुदेव कहता तो उसको महात्मा कहता. That's true. They revered each other so much, respected each other's opinion, but
they didn't really say
they did not leave their own opinion. वो गजब का था. So I did on that. Then there is a book was written by one Gandhian who was a little kid in his ashram, Narayan Desai, who was जो उनके देसाई थे सेक्रेटरी, उनका बच्चा था, कैंपस पर रह रहा था. जब प्रार्थना होती तो गांधी की गोद में बैठता था. तो there was a relationship between the two. He used to call him Bapu, used to call him boss. बच्चे को boss. And what these kids used to do, it is his world. He called it bliss. It was to be with Bapu. And वो कैसे educate भी हुए, उनकी जिंदगियाँ कैसी थी. Very beautiful. So I did that. Then I'm still doing it. Calcutta में होगा 31st को. I'm doing play. It was written 50 years back on Gandhi, called हत्या एक आकार की.
हत्या एक आकार की.
हाँ. It is of an image. Then I did him as a lawyer. You see, that's very important.
In
it
South
was,
Africa wala?
Huh?
South
No. It was in Ahmedabad. उनको वही केस जिसको आज गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया 124 के अंडर सबको एंटी नेशनल कहती है ना, ट्रीजन. सेम लॉ वाज अप्लाइड टू हिम एंड ही वाज गोइंग टू प्रिजन. तो जब ट्रायल थी, ब्रिटिशर लंदन से जज आए, बहुत बड़े जज आए, बट दे वर वेरी नर्वस, इतना बड़ा लीडर होगा क्या. सो देखें तो उसको जेल से लाए. तो 5-7 लोग ही साथ थे उसके. पुलिस सारा बिछाया था उन्होंने अहमदाबाद में राइट्स हो सकते हैं. And he did a funny thing. You know, Gandhi can think of that. He said, Mr. Gandhi, court should get accusations. There's this treason against the state, against the blah, 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 blah. I said, Mr. Gandhi, what I have to say about it? He said, Your Lordship, I plead guilty. अब गिल्टी जो तो केस क्या हो गया, सजा देनी है तुमको, वो तो कुछ नहीं करना. तो जज की हालत खराब होती है, मैं क्या करूं, कुछ आर्ग्यूमेंट करे ही करे. He said, but would you like, are you sure? He said, yes, Mr. I'm guilty. But you have to say something you would like to say. Yes, Your Lordship, last night I wrote something. If you allow me, I'll read it. It is a 7-page defense.
That's Gandhi.
That is lawyer.
That's the lawyer in Gandhi.
And this play was supported by the Bar Association of High Court. And all Supreme Court lawyers came to...
Brutus is an honourable man. वही basis है. But Brutus is an honourable man. वही basis है.
Amazing. And he finishes them. And बाद में वो उसे कहता तुम्हें भी नौकरी छोड़नी चाहिए इतने ये है. तो but he gives him 6 years imprisonment. क्योंकि वो law है, I can't do anything. But if state thinks that they want to be lenient on it, I'll be more than happy.
Again, see.
So I take the projects like that, and I'm looking at these days, which I picked up little bit, but I could not. ये resource की बड़ा problem होता है ना. So
आपने कल स्टेज से भी यही बोला था about खजुराहो इंटरनेशनल फिल्म फेस्टिवल कि इस तरह की जो फेस्टिवल जो नॉर्थ में होने की कोशिश हो रही है, because they say that's supported by so and so, they maybe give 4 rooms in a hotel. But they want कि नाम. ऐसा लग रहा है कि इतना impressive है. It's really nothing. And many often I have put in my own money to
So
make
I'm
this
going to
happen.
look at Indian peasant through the literature of Tagore, Premchand, Reno, and many others, South के 4-5.
Peasant as in 90% is agrarian peasant of India. Is that what
Yes,
you're saying? The
what he has
farmer.
gone through, and has he got anything? He has got nothing. That's my understanding.
Absolutely.
But resilience, he has made a self-sufficient in food, but God see him, his condition.
Yes.
You're taking his land away, you want to make laws,
Yes.
you know.
And they're running away, they're migrating, they're no more. Culturally also it's fading, even in Bundelkhand, so culturally, it's folk, it's complete folk. It's all finishing, it's all, again, the influence of...
You see this, you need thinkers, you see. It can be one of the best revenue earners for the state if they know how to teach culture.
Exactly. What do you want to say about KIFF? If you
I
want
think
to say
it's a great initiative in the interiors of India. It's a wonderful initiative. I think it should become a little bit more academic for the local. I think for that, audience should be youngsters from the universities, from the cultural scene. And it should also become part and parcel of their thinking. कि सिनेमा अच्छा क्या है? See, it's nice to say our Bombay cinema was good, but I don't.
Of course
You see, I have done.
not.
I think I'm not trying to boost us. I've done around 40 films. I am proud of hardly 3-4 films,
Yes,
to be honest.
yes, of course,
बाकी
of
तो
course.
and बोलना नहीं चाहिए. I hardly see those films. So, तो differentiation between good cinema and what is commercial cinema, वो distinction समझना, because everybody is lured by Bombay glamour and power cinema.
Actually, Manohar, आप तो जानते हैं Manohar Krishnaji हमारे पुराने मित्र. We used to take master classes, and these children, Ashish, he teaches in Bombay.
No, I
he
bet him,
teaches,
yeah.
phone cinema through mobile. I wanted to take his class also, and so we are trying all this, but a lot of. It's very difficult to garner people, MK. It's so difficult.
No, I think ये तो big चल रहा है. Minor, a smaller project for 7 days, only for students and the filmmakers. Quietly sit in a room and लगा है कैमरा भी है और ये भी है, and talk and watch films. Watch film, train. Film appreciation in this sense.
Exactly.
ये बिग तो ठीक है, बट आई थिंक उससे ब्रिक्स बनते हैं या नहीं, वही तो ब्रिक्स बनानी पड़ेगी. आई ऑलवेज से ना हु विल मेक द पिलर्स. ब्रिक तो कोई भी बना सकता है, उसमें क्या दीवार भरना है, बिल्डिंग के सामने.
Get the bricks together and then form the pillar, which is what you have done. Seminal work in all your years, and we are so grateful to you for
coming. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.